So today I'm going to show y'all how I build a greenhouse out of a trampoline frame. It's pretty simple. So a few things you'll need. You'll need some wood, drill bit and drill, some screws and some plastic and some nails with the washers on them, which I'll show you here in a little bit. The first thing you want to do is take off the cover and the springs. You might want to get a bucket for the springs. There's quite a few of them. If anybody has any ideas what I could do with them, please leave a comment below. And then you want to remove the legs off of it. Now this does work with older frames and newer frames. It don't matter as long as you get the circle part basically. And what you do after that is you'll split it in half, which I'll show you now. So this is what you'll get when you take them apart. You'll get two halves here, which will be the ends of the greenhouse. Next thing you'll want to do is add some wood. So the wood that you're going to need for this is a 2x4, really to your length, however long you want the greenhouse. I really wouldn't go over 12 foot, I'm actually doing 14 foot. But 12 seems to be real good, and then you'll need this smaller little board. It's like trim board, I guess, something like that. And that's all the wood that you'll need. And you'll cut the smaller wood up, and then the 2x4s will go across on the greenhouse, which I'll show y'all. So there's a few things you gotta do to get this prepared, especially if you're doing this by yourself. Even if you do have two people, I would well, what I did is I put in a T-post down here to hold the support where I need it so it'd be straight, especially since I'm going downhill. Well, before you put the sides up, what you want to do is pre-drill your holes where your boards are going to go, and then stand it up, and then screw your boards in like I got right here. And then you'll run trim between them, and I'll show you. So you basically cut the smaller boards to the length that you need between each 2x4. So now I got this trim board on here for the plastic to nail to. All I did was basically pre-drill 3 holes, or if you use self-tapping screws, you won't have to have that. But I just put 3 screws, one at the top, one in the middle, and then one at the bottom on each board. Now bear in mind, y'all can use any size wood y'all want to. You can even use standard boards right here. The reason I didn't is because I know it's going to bow. But yeah, you can use any wood y'all want to, any screws. I would get self-tapping screws. It'd be so much easier than having to pre-drill each hole for every screw. But now that we got all this on here, we're actually going to throw the plastic on here. So it's all coming together real nice here. And then eventually going to build a door on here. So I'm going to get the plastic on here and we'll see what it looks like. The reason I said that I wouldn't go over 12 foot is because the plastic in my areas from the Lowe's that I buy the plastic from, it ain't wider than 12 foot. And this is 14, so it's going to have a gap down here where I'm going to have to add extra plastic. So that's why I was saying either 11 or 12 foot, one would be, you know, perfect. 11 foot's usually about really good for the plastic. That way you ain't got to do a bunch of connection and plastic and stuff, having trouble to do it. You can just roll it over the top, nail it down, and then do the sides. But in my case, I'm going to actually have to add some, which I'll show y'all, but I ain't going to make a big deal out of it because I really hope everybody goes with about 11 foot wood, or maybe 11 and a half in length of the greenhouse. So on the plastic today, I'm actually using 4 mil. If you live in a cold region, I'd recommend using 6 mil. But here in Texas, I mean, it still gets cold, but not enough to have that thick of plastic really. The plastic usually ranges from 1 to 2 years. You'll have to replace it depending on how much sun and cold you get, because plastic does deteriorate over time. Now on the T-post, I'm leaving mine in. I just wrapped an old soil bag around it. As long as you have it down enough where it actually ain't going to poke through, you should be good. And on the plastic, rolling it over, on this one I cut it at 24 feet, which gives me a foot down here to tuck it underneath, because I also lay plastic on the floor too, so I like a little bit of overhang. And I'll sit some small plants in there, and then plus the little corner here gives me a place where to hold the plastic real tight. And then what I'll do is I'll nail it at the bottom, go on the other side, get someone to hold it, pull it tight, nail it right here, and then so on, and then it'll be real tight. Now on the top center bar in here, I just reach in as far as I can. I know I'm not going to get in the middle of it really, so I'm not going to be able to get all the nails all the way in it. I just stepped on a huge pile of dang rocks down here. But yeah, I know I'm not going to really get it all the way in the middle there, so that's fine. My other one did just fine, so I'm pretty sure this one will too. So I'm going to get it all nailed up, and then I'll come back and show y'all what it looked like after it's nailed. So as you can see, we just nailed it up and then nailed it along the sides there. And then I got it tucked underneath. So yeah, it's going to be doing good. I'm going to get this done, and then that end down there, and then we'll work on the ends. So this is the inside here. Pretty tight. Got it best we can, that's all that matters. Sun's gonna come through here. Now see where I said I was gonna run short? This is why I suggest doing the greenhouse about like no more than 12 foot. If you buy 12-foot boards, you know, about 11 and a half, and the plastic will do good. But I'm just gonna add a piece in here. I kind of figured this one out. The last one I built was a lot easier, so I like that, the shorter ones. But yeah, it ain't bowing too much in here. I don't think we're gonna have too many problems with it. If this was support, if I did put some support between these boards, this would have been a lot tighter. But it still ain't. It's still real good. So we're gonna add it in here and then nail it along like we did over here. So see, what I did is add wood in here all the way along. Now I could have done this to the whole thing, I was going to, but it ain't gonna be up too long. And then all I did was nail it right here, and then I'm gonna go through here and put some more nails and make sure the plastic's tight. Actually, next time I redo the plastic, I'll probably continue with this and add the rest of the bars like this across here, so it'll have better support. I really should have done it from the beginning, but I didn't. But next time I will. I was just trying to hurry up and get it done before the cold comes. And even without them, it works for what I need it to work for. So it's doing good. I'm gonna add this plastic on, and then we'll do the other side and add a door. So yeah, I'm done now. Or we're done. Ain't not a hole nowhere. Ain't gonna leak nowhere. Got a little bit I need to cut off. But yeah, not bad at all. That'll work. I'll step back and take a look at this. So that's it. Big old greenhouse. I think this wound up costing me around $65 for everything. And that's buying wood and stuff, so. Next thing we'll do is put up the front here and then put on a door. So before you put on the wall, you want to add your boards. I just nail them to the smaller little frame boards that I nailed the plastic to. And then it'll dangle there, and then I run the plastic in front of it and nail the plastic to it. And then cut out the square part here, which will be for the door. And I'll show. You can add the board at the bottom if you want. I'm actually not going to. I'm going to go by the plastic, holding it together. We don't get high winds, so I'm not really worried about it. And my saw blade is runt really, so I can't cut wood at this time hardly. But yeah, the plastic should work good. Actually, I did this other one here the same way. I just ran it down and then cut a slit in it, which I'll add a door later. This is actually my second one here. But yeah, and then I'll just cut this square part out. I won't slice it in the middle this time. I actually ruined it. I could have cut it out and then used that whole piece right there for the door, which I did, and so now I'm gonna have to use another piece of plastic instead of thinking ahead of time, and I cut it down the middle. And this is the smaller 11.5 footer, which came out real nice and sturdy. I actually just moved the plants from this one into that one, is what y'all seen, and then this one's gonna get full too in the next few days. So yeah, back to this. We'll got them up now, and then I'll throw this plastic up on the side, tighten it up real good, and then I'll put a door in there. So I just start by putting a nail at the bottom in the corner on the edge, and then I go up, I pull it tight between them two, and then I nail it. But what you want to do is just tuck it in a little bit, the plastic, so it makes it thicker, and just pull it tight from that screw to where you're nailing, and then you'll go on the other side and do the same thing, and that's what when you go back and forth on each side, it'll make the plastic tight in the middle. Now on this side, when you start nailing, you want to make sure that you pull not only between the nails, but make the plastic tight between the other side. That way you're tightening it up. Now it's all tight. What I did was cut out a slice, as you can see, and then I'll put some more nails in there, and then I flipped it over. I'll cut that out and make a door out of it. And then in here, all this stuff that's left over hanging, I'm just going to cut off. It's too much just to leave in there. If it was like this, barely, I might leave it, but there's a lot of it, so I'm going to cut it out. So I just built a little frame. It ain't nothing to it. The plastic is mainly what's going to hold it all together. On the corners, you can put little braces from like triangle braces across there, so it'll stay sturdier. But I'm pretty sure the plastic will hold it for me. I'm just going to nail that plastic on that I cut out right there where the door was, and I'll add it on here and we'll add the door. So I'm done with the door now. This is what it looks like. Just a regular old plastic door. Now I'm going to go put it up. So we're done. Here's the door on here. I left a little space at the top and put a vent in there of some kind, whether it be solar with fans, maybe 2 fans to circulate it. Sure will be solar if I get one though. Or I might just put a turbine one like the ones on top of houses, but a smaller version made for it. I left a gap at the bottom. I'm going to put a board down there. I just wanted to make sure it all fit together. And there's also a gap right here. Now if you ain't too much worried about this, what I'll probably do later on, if it gets way down, or if we ever get snow here, I'll just put a little piece of plastic hanging down there, and then probably nail it on both sides. That way it just covers the crack, and then that way the hinges is still working and everything. But yeah, the door works good, works perfectly good. Put a little lock on here. I gotta put a little stopper behind it, make sure it don't go in. But yeah, that's the greenhouse that my old lady got me to build. No, but yeah, it works good. That's what it all looks like. Take a look back at it, and let's see if we can get the whole thing in there. But yeah, there's the big greenhouse. Let's go inside and take a look. This is actually my second one. I showed the other one a while ago. I'm practically standing in it. Let's go inside and take a look. Works pretty good. Yeah, see how it swings in a little bit? Had to put a stopper there at the top and the bottom. I packed it in here. A lot of these pepper plants here need to be trimmed up. A lot of them have a lot of peppers on it right now, so I'm trying to let them finish. Then I have to trim it up. There's my big avocado tree. It's getting big. I might try to do something with it. I don't know. I really want to cut it, so I might try to figure something out to do. And my key limes, they got a bunch of limes on them. Yep. Well, hope y'all enjoyed it. Heck, this thing, I don't know how many plants are in here. Probably around 500, I'm guessing. House plants, peppers, fruit trees. Yeah. There's my blood oranges. But yeah, it should work good. I got a little sag here. It's from this bowed board. I should have turned it around. So I might add a support beam in here, kind of like I did right there. Just add a board from here to hold this one spot, since I didn't turn that board around. But other than that, I'll fix it when this plastic has to be replaced. Probably in a year or two. Hopefully it'll last. This is kind of a thinner plastic. I'm using 4 mil, so it might go bad quicker being in the sun and the coldness. So alright, well, it ain't too hard. Hope some of y'all try. Leave a comment below, and if y'all don't mind, please share it. Thanks for watching.